is Kiza Jesse. I'm one of the legal officer complaints at the IRA. Mr. CEO, welcome you today. All CEOs present, we welcome you and your team. Members of the authority, welcome you. The media and everyone would like to welcome you. Today, we're here to launch the Complaints Bureau system that has taken us some time. It's a great innovation by the authority that we had to come up with by our own Mrs. Cynthia Aero Nsubuga. It's been a long journey from where we started up to today. But finally, we are here, and we hope that the system will help everyone to be compliant. And by the fact that the world is going digital, we hope that people shall be able to comply with the system. Without further ado, we are in time. I would like to invite Director Legal, Stroke Secretary of the Authority, Mrs. Francesca Kakoza, to come and give her welcome remarks. Thank you so much. Let us clap for her as she comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're very welcome to the launch of the Complaints Management System. It has been long in coming, but we are here today. This journey started a long time ago, but we thank God that we are here and we are here to launch this system. You're all very welcome. I've seen that all of us came in time, 7:30. Thank you so much for keeping time. And I hope you're enjoying the breakfast that IRA has served, as usual. Yesterday, I was looking at the top 10 trends in the insurance industry globally. And this is what I saw from McKinsey. I hope you're aware of McKinsey, of course. Now, McKinsey says that a handful of accelerating technology trends are poised to transform the very nature of insurance. In auto insurance, risk will shift from drivers to the artificial intelligence and software behind self-driving cars. Satellites, drones, and real-time data sets will give insurers unprecedented visibility into the risk around facilities, leading to greater accuracy. Claims processing after natural catastrophes and other catastrophes will be automated, infinitely scalable, and lightningly fast. The life insurance industry will bring to market wrapped products that seamlessly adjust coverage based on the evolving needs of their customers. These scenarios aren't science fiction. The technologies behind them already exist, and innovative offerings could become mainstream in the next decade. I'm sure that you're keeping up with the trends in insurance today, and technology is one of the disruptors. We cannot afford to stay behind. As your regulator, we are big on innovation. In fact, it's one of our core values, and this is why we are here today. This was not an external innovation. This was an internal innovation by our own Cynthia, and she'll be revealing it to you and breaking it down for you so that you can be able to use it. Now, like we've said, the complaint system was developed out of innovation. And of course, it's one of the things that we are encouraging you as regulators to be innovative, because technology has come to disrupt and we cannot afford to stay behind. And so we are following suit as your regulators. I'll just give a brief background about the Complaints Bureau and where we started from. In 2017, the Insurance Act was promulgated. And following closely thereon, the Complaints Bureau guidelines were also promulgated. Now, as regulators, we saw the need. We got a lot of complaints coming through, with some clients walking into IRA, some calling us, some sending us emails, and we felt that that was not enough. If we are going to be big on innovation, as we usually are, we had to innovate and come up with a system that would make this work very easy, very accessible, so that anyone in Gulu did not have to walk to Kampala to complain or send an email, or where internet connectivity is not, they did not have to, walk or go through someone, etc., but would have something that's accessible and available to them so that they're able to complain. Now, you may be asking, as players in the industry, why we are encouraging complaints. Of course, you already know that claims are supposed to be paid, and if they are not paid, then we are shooting ourselves in the foot. And of course, I mean, we're not saying pay the claims if they are not payable, but we are saying pay them. And actually, that is one of the biggest complaints we are seeing in the Complaints Bureau. That kind of barrage of complaints, we came up with this Complaints Bureau, and in 2020, what we did is we got the in-house innovation moving. We got some support again from our IT team, and this system was born. Currently, subsequently, we did a securities audit to ensure that the system is secure. Once you put in your complaints, no one will hack it, no one will go in to change anything that we have done. And on 18th July of this year, 2022, we took you players through this system. We walked you through the journey, and we showed you how the system works, how you can complain, how you can get on, how the complainants on the other side, the public, can also get into the system and complain. And today, we are here to launch the system. Now, where are we as a company? We've received more public confidence right now into the insurance sector, and we know that there's been increased uptake because of this resolution of these complaints. So right now, where we are is that we have 117 complaints that have come in since January to June. Already 80% of that has been resolved. And we want to thank you, the insurance players and all the insurers and all the other players, for your support on this particular effort. Now, where are we going next? The outlook for this complaint system is that we're going to have to amend the Complaints Bureau guidelines to, of course, provide these in the regulations. We shall send you guidelines to guide you on how to use that system. The other one is we are expecting feedback from you as we launch this system. Once you start using it, please give us your feedback so that we are able to improve the system over and over again. One of the things we've had is that you should be able to file your complaints reports every month. I think that's one of the issues that came out at the last training. So that is something that we are working on in the second phase of this complaint system, and that is where we're going. Again, we shall keep innovating as a regulator to ensure that we serve you and serve you effectively. Please feel free. My email is open. Call it open door. It is very open. If you have any complaints about the complaint system or the Complaints Bureau, please feel free to come to us. And of course, there's the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. I know they'll be launching very soon. If you're dissatisfied with anything in the Complaints Bureau, feel free to appeal to the Insurance Appeals Tribunal. But I know that from the way we've treated you and the responses we are getting from you, we are doing well and will not have any appeals. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you once again. Feel at home, and I hope that you will be able to use this system. Please use the system to make our work easier, but also your work easier. Thank you very much, and feel at home. Jesse? Can I-
Thank you so much, dear. Let us give her another round of applause. We've taken note that some players haven't yet been able to open up accounts onto the system, but please feel free to engage us. At one point in time, we are ready to take you through. It being something new to everyone, we are taking it process by process. So we hope that with time, we shall get there. So in case of any issues, like DL said, please give us feedback, any improvements, please tell us. Then we shall be able to ensure that the Complaints Bureau is fully active. So at this point in time, I would like to invite our very own, the innovator, that is Mrs. Cynthia Aaron Suvuga, who works with the IRA, to take us through the system and make her presentation of the system. Let us clap for her as she takes us through the system.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. So today, before I take you through the system, I'd just like to give you a brief introduction of what it does, and then we shall go through. This, I know most people fear demos. They imagine they are going to be so long and everything. We are going to have a very quick demo, and we shall take a quick walk through. I hope it will be visible here. Maybe the lights have to go off so that it's visible. We have 4 major players. We have you, the insurers. We have us, the IRA. We have the people complaining, and then we have our officers in-house. So I'm going to take you on a journey. First, we shall just have a simple walkthrough on what the system looks like and the various functionalities. Then we shall see how we are going to be interacting on this platform. Please, if the light on this side. So we shall start with a small walk through what the system is like. So this is how it presents, and these are the various functions on the system. We have our dashboard, we have the account. Now here we're looking at a manager's view. These are the people inside the IRA and what they see. So once inside the IRA, our manager gets to see, they can see their account, they can see the complaints, they have a view of the insurers on the system, the complainants, and they can also have a view on the meetings. So this is what our dashboard looks like. I know it may not be clear for now, but this is what our dashboard looks like. So on this side, we have the complaints which have been registered in the first 24 hours. I know it's not so big, so I'll name it for you. On this side, we have the total complaints on the system. We only have 13. On this side, we have the assigned complaints. Here we have one which is not assigned. We have the list of complainants. We have the number of officers. And then here we have the number of managers on the system who can view what's happening. Okay. So everyone will be able to view their account details starting from the manager's point of view. The manager is able to view all the complaints that come in. So I'll pause here. So here, as you can see, these are live complaints. This one belongs to ISEA Life already. So we already have live complaints that we are reviewing, and we have a day count. Every time your complaint is on our system, we count the days until it is settled. That is how the system works. We have all the insurers registered, all those who have given us their details. We have a full list of the complainants and their contact details on the system. And similarly, we have our meetings. So when you're registered on this system, you'll be able to see our meetings communications every time you go through. The other functionality we have is the officer in the IRA. The officer also has the same dashboard where they can see their account details. They can also see the complaints which have been assigned to them, so they don't have a very big list. They can still see all the insurers who are registered on the system. We can also see the contacts of all the complainants as the officers, and we can also see all the meetings that have been scheduled onto the system. The other functionality that we have on this system is the insurers, which is yourselves. You'll be able to have a dashboard where you can see the number of complaints. Let's go back a bit. The number of complaints, you'll be able to see your account details. You'll be able to see the complaints which have been registered against you. And you'll be able to also have a view into the meetings that you have been invited to. We are going to see all these functionalities as we go forward. And finally, we have our complainants. Now, these are the people in the public who register on our system. They'll be able to see their individual complaints. They'll be able to see their account details. They can change their passwords from there. They'll be able to see the complaints they've filed with the IRA, and they'll be able to see all the meetings they're invited to. Now, as a complainant of the public, you have to register on our system, and this registration is only for the public. Insurers, brokers, whatever have you cannot register on this system. You will have to write to IRA officially, and we give you the account details onto this system. So the public would register like this. When they go to the login page, you click register. You give us all your details. You give us all your details. You enter the password, whatever password you as a complainant feel you remember easily. And so we realized so many of the insurers register themselves and cannot access the system. You're not getting the right view onto the system, and this is why. So for every public complainant, we have a disclaimer here which says, I hereby freely and willingly give my consent to the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda to process and use my personal data for the purpose it is given, and by submitting this form, I agree that my information will be used and processed in compliance with the Data Protection Act. So that is very important, because if that is not given, you will not be able to register your complaint. So the public has to consent to the use of their data onto our system. And when they get registered onto our system, they will get a page which invites them, but they'll also receive an email. And when they go to log on onto their email, this is just dummy email. When they go to log onto their email, their registration, they get an email which lets them know they have successfully registered onto the system. They get their username, they get the email that they'll be using as well. And from then on, they can easily just log into the system. So the next part we're going to look at is how a complaint is lodged by a member of the public. Upon getting an account on our system, this is what the initial dashboard looks like for a person who is a member of the public. They can now come to their account. They can still see what their new details will look like. And on the same system, this is where they'll now be able to file a complaint. And then they will also get the meetings functionality on their portal as the complainant and a member of the public. So they'll be able to file a complaint with us, and this is the complaint registration form that they'll have to fill in. So we are going to watch the process of how someone fills in this form, and then we shall see what happens when they have filled in this form. So you have to enter the date. It's very easy to search. As you can see, we have an easy search bar where you can search for the insurers that you're complaining against. You can always say if it's you have to name the class, the kind of policy, because that's important information for us. Then you give us the details. This person here says they have not been paid. You're able to attach files. So just showing that you're able to attach files, all you have to do is select, and then you'll be able to attach whatever file from the drop-down that appears. So we're just showing you that functionality. If there's legal representative, a complainant is able to also let us know if they have legal representative on their claims. So this particular person has a lawyer called Hallelujah Advocate who is helping them sort out their issues. So it's important for us to know if there are any advocates involved so that we also prepare ourselves to deal with this complaint going forward. And it's also important that we have the contact details if at all there's any legal representative on this complaint. So the form is as simple as this. It's a very, very short form. And still, we still have a disclaimer for the public whereby, and the disclaimer here says, you enter your name, and we still have the same thing of I freely give my information. So what happens is once a complaint has been lodged on the outside, that is when it's on the outside. For us on the inside, an officer can also lodge a complaint. So these ones are for the complaints where we get emails, we get letters, we get walk-ins. The officer also logs onto the system and first has to register this complainant. So this is the process. This is the second way in which we have registration of complaints on the system. The first one, we saw a member of the public. They did it themselves by getting an account. The second one is where now the officer registers the walk-in complainants, the emails, the letters, and the like. So when we get the ones who have written us letters, the officer has to register that complainant on the system and give us all the details of the complainant. Otherwise, they will not be able to register this complaint on the system. The essence of this is to ensure that we have all these details in one place, and we can always reach out to the complainant as and when a complaint arises, or we need to have a meeting or any of those. However, when the officer assigns the role of complainant on this system, the person still gets the prompt in their emails, if at all they've given us their emails, and they can still register and get an account on our system. So once the member is added successfully, the officer is now able to come onto the system and file a complaint. The form is the same. There's not much difference. The claim form, the complaint registration form remains the same, and it's still registered against any insurance company, be it a broker, be it an insurer. For those registered on the system, you can still identify who you have an issue with. Okay, so this is how the form looks like. So the complaint details is, this person has not been paid for a long time, okay? And they are not happy. When we get that a lot in our complaints bureau. So this is where we show the functionality of how files are added. So you can easily add files onto this complaint. And like I said, this is the part where you have to select the complainant that you're registering onto the system. So here we have our test complainant who we registered initially. If they have any legal representative, we would also put that in. As you can see, there's no disclaimer here because it's handled internally. So that is what happens when a complaint is successfully filed. That is an internal process. So at the manager level, here we are now looking at management in the legal department. They will receive these emails which will tell them that there are new complaints on the system, and it gives you the number of the new complaint registered on the system so that whichever manager gets onto it, they can see. On the insurer side, which is your side, you will also get a complaints bureau registration. So a new complaint has been filed against you. As you can see, there is that one new complaint has been filed against you. Here you have that notification also coming to you on the insurer side. I know some of you have gotten it because We've seen some responses from the insurers. Okay? So that is how the system will be moving up to that point. Now, when you come to the insurer's side, after you have read that email and notification, you will come and look at your complaints on the system, and you'll be able to see that for sure people are filing complaints against you. Okay? So immediately complaints are registered, they will fall on your dashboards as well in real time, so that you can come and check out the details very quickly. And if you can call this complainant and you sort yourselves, we will be very glad as the authority, because all their contact details are right there. So you can immediately call and see if you can sort yourselves out, and then you let IRA know. I'm going to show you how you can communicate with IRA as we go forward, and let us know whether you've had your deliberations and you've come to a point of agreement. But you'll be able to see all the details, what the person is complaining about, what attachments they have put. You will also be privy to that information at the first instance. So please keep checking your dashboards to see the people who are not happy with you, and see if you can sort them before we go through the whole long process. So for each of these complaints, you'll still see a lot of, and now this is one where there's an attachment. You'll still be able to open up that attachment. It downloads easily, so you can see, you can also read it and understand what the details are. And like I said, we would be glad, because now you're notified very quickly. It's easy to communicate as well with the complainants. Now let's come back to inside the IRA. Inside the IRA, the managers will be able to come to their dashboards and see that there are 3 new complaints which have been filed within 24 hours. They'll be able to see all the complaints which have come in. As you can see, we have our complaints over there. We have them and they are not assigned to any officers. For example, that particular complaint is not assigned. And at this point, it's the managers who have view over the entire system. The manager is also able to view all the details of what's coming in. However, there's added functionality internally where we have assignments, they can add actions and the like. So the manager has to come here and will assign this complaint to an officer to handle. And once the officer is assigned, they'll be notified. They'll also receive an email. I'll show you what that email looks like. And once this complaint is assigned, the manager can also issue actions. Now on these actions, these are instructions, and they're internal instructions from the manager to the assigned officers. So here the manager was telling the officers to please invite them for our meeting. I know most of you enjoy our meetings because they are very fruitful. We try to get resolutions as quickly as possible. Okay? So that action, we begin to register all the actions that are taken into the system from the manager to the officers. So all the actions are recorded for this particular complaint. We now come to, still again on the manager's view. As you can see, now on this side you're seeing notifications. We shall have a journey through the notifications as well. However, we still come back to the actions. Now, what I want you to take note of is the status. The status here is very important. We have proceed to court, settled, or rejected. Okay? So, remember that day count I told you? The days stop counting when a complaint is settled. If a complaint is not settled, we shall count and count and count and count, so that even you, the insurer, are aware of how many days the complaint is sitting on the system and resolved. So I'm just going to show you what happens when you present the status as settled. It will immediately come into the actions as settled, and everyone who comes onto this complaint will know this issue has been resolved. So it's very important that we get the settled status, because it stops the counting of days on the system. Until a complaint is settled, rejected, or sent to court, it remains hanging on our system. You can also add documents on the actions part, but this is internal. So we have two libraries, there's a media library and the like. So even on the actions, we can also add documents. We can have documents shared internally on the actions part. As you can see, every action taken is recorded on the system, okay? That's how the system works. So you can always download it and you read. Now these are internal actions and we're showing you what happens inside the IRA at this point in time. So remember that assignment we're talking about. On the officer's side, the officer always gets an email which will let them know a complaint has been assigned to them. And from here, an officer can easily tell it's complaint number 17. And once you log onto the system, that is all you look for. You look for complaint 17 and you see how you begin working on it. The other account that we're going to look at, we are now looking at the officer. So the officer was assigned this complaint. It was complaint number 17. As you can see, complaint number 17 has landed on their account and it is settled. So that means that day count is going to stop and it will stop being highlighted as bold in the system. However, still the officer can come and read all the actions that have been taken, whatever letters have been written, they're able to read that and they can also communicate back to the manager in case there's anything else that they want the manager to know. If there's any additional information or whatever have you, they also have the actions panel where they can add whatever action that they are taking or whether they are noting or whatever it is. So anytime the manager or an officer comes onto the system, they are able to actually see everything that has been carried out on the system. And so what we're trying to develop for here was continuity of information. Now remember that notifications panel we're talking about. On the side here is where we have the notifications panel. And on that panel, the manager can send a notification to an insurer, officer, or complainant. Now, this notifications panel, you have to be a bit careful with it because once someone sends a notification and they've highlighted you, you will get an immediate email. So here are the emails of the notifications you'll be receiving from our system, and it lets you know, please find a new notification on the complaint, and it gives you the details. Please kindly handle, and whatever the person has written in the notifications, you're able to read this short message on your emails. On the complainant side, the person who has lodged the complaint out there, one thing that they will also do is if you highlight them to receive a notification, they'll receive it. Now here, a complainant was not notified initially, so they will not see any notifications coming to them. However, they can also write their notifications to the IRA, and it comes to the officer. So the beauty about this is whenever a complainant outside sends a notification, as you can see, I am not happy, that is their notification. It will also come to you, the insurers, and you'll see whatever the complainant has sent in relation to their complaint. Also, the officer receives a notification, especially if a complainant writes to us, letting us know they are not happy. So this notifications panel is like a quick chat that we have amongst ourselves. And the only people who have choice here are we, the IRA, and the insurers, in terms of who they are sending these messages to. So these notifications, we put that there so that we can send quick information. For example, if we've had a meeting and we tell you, please send us the policy document, you can just come onto your system, you go to your complaint immediately and you put that in. As you can see, whatever the complainant puts in, the insurer will also be able to see. However, what the insurer puts in, you have to select whether you want the complainant to see it or you want the officers to see it. If you don't select the complainant, they won't see it. But once you click the officers, IRA will be able to see what notification you have put. So this insurer here said, please come to our offices. Okay? So here, back on the complainant screen, they will also see the message from the insurer, please come to our offices. So that is how we have built it for that kind of interaction between ourselves and for quick information to flow. What you need to know is once you touch the notifications panel, we at the IRA will have visibility of what messages you're sharing between the two. And the complainant will also get these notifications, and this one's from the insurer of please come to our offices. So the complainant can easily log on and also put their reaction. Okay? So coming back to the last functionality is the meetings functionality on the system. We are able to schedule meetings, and when we schedule meetings, we invite, we give you the details of the meetings, we tell you the complaints reference number, we tell you what time, date, and the venue of our meeting. So only managers and officers can schedule meetings on this system. And this is just a quick view of how meetings are scheduled on the system from our side at the IRA. So we'll share our details, where the meeting is going to be. We'll share our Zoom links there if we have any. We'll share the dates of when the meeting is going to take place. And then we'll let you know of the time when a meeting is going to take place. Okay? And then the complaint reference. So it's important that once you get a meeting schedule, you just check out the complaint reference as well, so that you can read the quick details as I showed you earlier and prepare yourselves for this meeting at whatever point in time. So a big drop down appears there and any meeting can be selected. I know you're not seeing the drop down for now. And from here, the manager chooses who can participate, who is going to participate. So if we have your details, everyone whose details have been registered on the system are already there, so it's easy to just sort and pick the people that you want to inform of these meetings. As we have seen with all the other actions in the system, once this happens and a meeting is set up, everyone who has been highlighted and invited for the meeting, you can now see it falls as a summary. So that is the summary with the date, the time, the link, the venue for the complaint, the reference, and all invited guests. So since the officer has been invited for this meeting, they will get a new meeting scheduled for complaints. So they'll get an email informing them that you have been invited for a meeting, and then the details of the meeting, and you're given the Zoom link. So it's easy to see, and it also shows the time and the date. Okay? So once you click that blue link, you go back to your portal. Then that was the officer. So once an officer has been invited, all they have to do is go to their account, and they will see, as you can see, the meeting appears as soon as it's saved. It appears on this side, and the officer can see all the details of the meeting, so they can get ready. All they have to do is check out the complaints reference and get all the details. On your side, as insurers, once you're invited for a meeting, you will also get an email showing you that there's a new meeting scheduled for the complaint. You'll get the details of the time, the venue, the topic, the links, all that you will get on your side as well. So you can prepare yourselves for the meeting as quickly as possible. Similarly, when you come onto your accounts and you go to the meetings tab as well, you'll be able to also see the meeting you've been invited to. Okay? Like I said, and you also still see the same details and get yourselves ready for the meeting. However, much as you see the schedule now button on your side, insurers are not authorized to schedule meetings on this system. Okay? So also the complainant, once a meeting is scheduled, they'll also get that notification, meeting scheduled for the complaint. They will also get a similar email showing them all the details, so they can get ready for this complaint as well. And when they go onto their account, they can easily come down here onto the meetings part and also see the meetings they have been invited to by the IRA. So there is nothing, but they also cannot schedule meetings in return. Only members of the IRA can schedule meetings on this system. So, ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of the demo of the entire system. And I hope you have enjoyed it, because I've enjoyed taking you through it. Are we ready to start? Okay, thank you so much.
So much, Cynthia. Let us give her another round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going live on our various social media handles. Currently, we have 83 participants online via Zoom, which is a good number. I believe some people said they couldn't see, but we shall try to send you this demo, probably for your better knowledge and guidance. But it's an easy system that the more you get acquainted to it, the more you get better knowledge about it, and you can easily use it. So it's a usable system for everyone. So we hope that we shall adopt it. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in time, I would like to take the honor to invite our CEO to give his remarks and also launch the system. After the launch of the system, we shall take in a few questions, and by 9:30 we shall be out of here. Let us join our hands and welcome the CEO of the IRA.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The chairman, Uganda Insurers Association. I have not yet seen the chairman of Brokers Association and HMOs and agents. The CEOs here present, industry captains, ladies and gentlemen, can we once again put our hands together, thank now, that clapping was for me. But now I want us to put our hands together to thank Cynthia and team who managed to come up with this innovation. Yes. We want to say that the reason why we are doing this, we want to make work easy. And I want to say that at the Insurance Regulatory Authority, we do emphasize innovation. That's why we are moving all this way to see that we make work easy for each one of us. But before I begin my remarks, since I do not interact much of the time with the people who are here, let me first remind you how we operate. The way we operate is that when we say the meeting is starting at 7:30, we want people to be there at 7:30. We said we are starting at 8, at least for us, we started at 8. But I saw people walking in at 8:45, 8:30. And I just wondered exactly how have they benefited from what brought us here. But since I'm not your immediate supervisor, I shouldn't bother myself with you. The only problem is that what you do eventually catches up with me. Because when you are also supposed to pay claim in 1 week and you also delay to pay, then I have no job, or my job will be at stake. So I just want to remind you, since here we have the people below the CEOs, in your way of operating, please respect time. When you make an appointment to meet a client at 8, be there some minutes before 8, so that by 8, you are starting the meeting. That was by way of preamble of my speech. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I begin by reminding you of some words said by Steve Jobs. And for those of you who know him, he's an American entrepreneur, but you mostly know him as the founder of Apple. So he stated, open quotes, that innovation is the ability to see change as an opportunity, not a threat. End of quotes. As I said earlier on, at the Insurance Regulatory Authority of Uganda, we always want to be on the move. That's why we are strongly believing that innovation can be the only way for the insurance industry to remain relevant. I want to welcome you all to this launch, where we are seeing the complaints management system, which has been ably demonstrated by Cynthia to us, and which we have all had the opportunity to be taught and told how it operates. This is in furtherance of our mandate, which is in section 12(1), J and K of the Insurance Act 2017, which gives us the authority to receive and resolve insurance-related complaints from members of the public on the conduct of a person licensed under the Insurance Act, and to arbitrate and grant restitution to the complainant as may be possible. Ladies and gentlemen, if there is any one thing to define the third decade of the 21st century, it is innovation. As you all know, and you will all agree with me, innovation has simplified the process, and it has also made it efficient and easy to track our actions. Cynthia told you how each one of us will be in real time seeing a complaint against you, and it will also be counting how many days this complaint has stayed at the Insurance Regulatory Authority. Also, when we put the remark of anything we have agreed to submit, we'll also be counting how many minutes, hours, days, months, and years it has taken you to submit. It is important to note that digital technologies, data, and artificial intelligence have unlocked new potential across the various sectors. And this has helped the businesses and has promoted the business models and the processes and the methods that have increased competition. It is indeed delivering new forms of value addition and improving the accessibility and the convenience as we all strive to grow our company's bottom lines. If you look at history, innovation doesn't come just from giving people incentives. It comes from creating environments where their ideas can connect. I need not stress it because you have already known that Cynthia Ayero is not employed by IRA as a consultant, but her job is an inspection officer non-life. But because of the environment, she has been able to unlock our potential. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we are launching the Complaints Management System as the Insurance Regulatory Authority, which is intended to ease the complaints lodging, follow-up, adjudication, and indeed to see that everybody can be happy at a faster speed. One of the authority's core values, as I already stated, is innovation, which we strive to push beyond the boundaries of the status quo. The creation of the complaints management system evolved from the digital trend of digitalization and the industry demand for an effective and efficient complaints resolution processes. The system is here, and I heard Cynthia and Jesse asking you whether you are ready to use it. If you answered yes, you are just on track. But even if you didn't answer, there is no way. Because as you know, when developments come, they will never leave us the same. I just want to urge each one of you to get used to the system, because it is the only way moving forward. As the regulator, we attach great importance to innovation because we know technology and innovation are now critical drivers of the success of any industry. The system is now available on the IRA website for public use. And we hope it eases complaints handling process. The authority is keen to ensure minimal to zero complaints arising from the industry. May I end my remarks by the words of Robert T. Kiyosaki, who is an American businessman and author, who said, open quotes, innovation is key. Only those who have the agility to change with the market and innovate quickly will survive. End of quotes. This reminds us, as the insurance industry, let's ensure that we innovate. We will get all the support required from the regulator, but most importantly, you must plan for it and you will get it. I want to thank you for listening to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our CEO. At this point in time, the CEO is going to officially launch the system by signing. We would like to invite Mr. Latimer Mukasa to also sign the placard of the IRA Complaints Management System. The IRA Management's complaint system has been officially launched today. Thank you so much, our dear CEO, Mr. Latimer Mukasa, and Director Legal of the Authority. Let us give them a round of applause. I would like to invite the CEO, Mr. Latimer Mukasa, plus DL, for a photo moment. After that photo, they'll stay there, and our innovator will also join them. Thank you so much. At this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to take a few questions. I hope our innovator is ready for them. We have 2 questions that have come in online. How does the manager ensure that the complaint is not closed by the officer before it is actually resolved? Our people online asking questions, so far I have 2 of them. We shall be able to answer them right now. Then 2 is, can other entities other than the insurers use your system? And if so, would you assist with its customization? Such questions clearly show you that people are attentive and they're online. However much for that one to say no. But for the first one is, how does the manager ensure that the complaint is not closed by the officer before it is actually resolved? Cynthia? You just put up your hand, then we shall bring the microphone to you and take up a few questions.
So to answer that question, as you saw from the demo, the manager is in view of everything the officer does as per the complaint. So the manager can still go back and revise the status if at all that isn't the actual status of the complaint. There are certain behavioral things that the system may not be able to handle, but at least there is oversight and supervision. For the second question, we would have to have a discussion.
Just to add to what Cynthia has said, yes, the system has mechanisms to prevent any mishandling by an officer, but outside that, we also have a complaints tracker as a bureau that's tracking all those complaints that are coming in outside the system. So as manager, as head legal, I'll be able to know the complaints that have come in, how they've been resolved, and how much time they've spent in the bureau. So that is not a worry. On top of the system, we have other mechanisms to manage the human element of the operations. Thank you.
Okay, please put up your hand, then we bring the microphone to you. One of our team members will give us the microphone, then we shall write the questions and shall answer them. Thank you.
So first of all, thank you, Cynthia, very much. For those of us who know you, we're extremely proud that you're now leading innovation. I have two quick questions. So effectively, this now replaces the manual system where we've been providing documents and all that. So the complaints will be online. Are you very confident of the security features? Because if someone found their way in, then you can lose the entire history of the complaints that have been lodged. So I would love to have comfort that you've been able to take care of that. And secondly, since it's a very good system, if I have something I'm running in-house, is there a possibility that we can do an integration so that, it can align with what I'm also doing in-house? If that's possible, then it would be great. Then finally, sorry, I noticed that you mentioned that it's possible for the complainant and the insurer to resolve the complaint, or what the terminology you use is settled. I want to believe that is the case, because if it is, then we save you the time and effort of reviewing an otherwise quick fix. Because some of the complaints that we get are really matters of clarification. So if you're able to clarify what the client is talking about and you resolve it at that level, I hope then we don't have to again involve you in the process of even how that particular complaint was settled, just in the interest of saving your time and effort. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Daniel Kaiwa is my name. Two questions. One is about the functionality of scheduling meetings. How do we ensure that all the recipients or invitees to that meetings have confirmed attendance or have received the message? Some of the people may never read their probably emails and that kind of thing. And this may delay the process of meetings. So how do you manage that area? Two, we may have a problem of quack complainants, people who are complaining just for the sake of throwing something on the system, and this tarnishes the names of some of our players. So how do we handle such things? And probably if he's a quack complainant and he never shows up, how do we resolve that kind of complaint that has dropped into the system? Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mine is a comment, not a question. Whenever new things come up, they actually require behavioral change. This is a new innovation, very welcome. We've seen so many apps, new apps that come up, launched, and they die there. Now, this kind of thing needs to be communicated to our clients, to the public, not just once today when we've launched, but perhaps on a regular basis to remind them. Otherwise, human beings take long to change. People will still be used to walking in or picking up the phone. But how do you make them know and understand and remind them that there's something actually better, a better system to use rather than physically walking in? That's to you, Cynthia. Good.
Okay, for the first question on whether this replaces the manual systems in place, that one, I will leave it to the director, she'll handle it. For the second one of system integration with individual systems of the companies out there, definitely this is a welcome situation. If we can have integrations, we would have to look into it as well. So maybe we'd have to have that discussion if at all it comes up. Then for the nuisance complaints, those ones which, oh no, before the nuisance complaints, the part where the insurer and the complainant resolve themselves of the system. Actually, we have had that experience already with one insurer. They actually got a complaint. They were able to read it in time. They got in touch with the complainant. They agreed. They went to the notifications panel and let us know we have spoken to the complainant. We have agreed that complaint is closed, and we closed it on our side as well. So that is what you'd have to do. At least that we have already seen in action. Another thing that I'm happy to tell you is there's another very active insurer. I'd like to thank FICO. They have been the most adoptive on the system. They respond pretty fast. They got another complaint and they were able to let us know. We've been in touch, and this is what they were actually happy that they could call the person quickly, and they had tried their interventions before they failed to agree and still had to come to IRA. Okay? Then for the part of the functionality of meetings, how do we confirm that an email has been read? Daniel, maybe we shall see how to go about that. Maybe we shall put it in one of our upgrades. We'll look into it for confirmation of attendance. Then for the quack complainants, the beauty about the system is that when the quack complainants are doing that, it's only us at IRA and you, the insurer, who can see it. No one else can. So if the insurer is to advise us, this is a quack, then we can close it or even delete it off the system. At least it's not for public to see that they are complaining against company X every single day. It would remain between us. Then for the comment on getting the public to appreciate this system, that is really much appreciated. I do believe our communications team and the rest of us will be behind this. The beauty about this is once an officer registers a complaint on the system, still that person, if they've presented their email, gets the link to register onto our system. So it's up to them to take it from there. What we plan to do next is to have short video instructions on our page as well, so that people can see how it works and still participate on the system. Thank you. Or for question number 1.
Thanks, Cynthia. The question was whether this replaces the manual system. So what we have done is on 18th July, we trained the officers that are going to deal with the system. That was the first step so that everyone knows how to use it. We have launched now on 1st September, and that was intentional. And so what we are allowing is we're going to give a moratorium of 1 month to allow everyone to get acclimatized with the system and then be able to use it. Now, in that 1 month, we'll still be using the manual because we don't expect that everyone will be able to get onto the system immediately and be able to use it. So within this 1 month, we're going to be running along with the manual system, especially for the public, as we get them aware of this system. But after that 1 month, unless Alhaj allows for more time, we shall be now switching over to the system and not allowing any more manual complaints. So please inform your clients, but we'll also be drumming the message out in the public. Thank you.
I think let me also first put in a word. Really, when we start, it is for the better. So each one of us should appreciate that we go this way from today. Even the 1 month is just for us to see that we will phase out the other manual which are coming in from outsiders. So we want to start today so that we do not have really things which are outside where we can monitor them. The second one, I think I need to help Cynthia. There was a question of whether this system can be integrated with the internal manuals, internal systems. I just don't know exactly what that would do, because your internal systems are handling your internal complaints. Now, ours is handling the complaints which have been scaled up to the regulator. Now, if unless you are saying you want to report when you are doing the monthly reports, but other than that, I don't see the integration. And I don't want us to think that we are going to take some time to discuss it. I don't see it unless you show me. The other one was on the fake quack, you call them quack complainants. I don't know what they will be, what do they want to achieve at the end of the day. But even if they are quack, when a complaint is lodged, you are able to see it immediately. Give us the answers. We can close it within a day. We can close it, we can close and declassify it that it wasn't really a complaint. But you must prove it. But I wouldn't understand exactly what their intentions would be for the quack. But what it also says that let's make sure that we resolve all issues for our policy holders so that nobody complains. Thank you.
Good morning. I just wanted to inquire on the system, for example, as the brokers, at what stage can we get visibility that because the communication is mostly between the insurer and the client. At what point is there a way that we can also be notified that, you know what, an incident has been logged, so that we are also in the whole picture?
Let's also know your name.
I'm Maureen Mbabazi from Willie Stars Watson.
I'm Hannington Chogula from Swiko. I seek clarification on the already existing complaints. What happens? Are they going to be uploaded also? Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Laban Sebeni from ICA Life. I will start with a comment. We recently received a complaint on the system, and unfortunately, it was wrongly assigned to us. We raised the issue with IRA last week, but unfortunately, up now, it has not been updated. So the data on the system shows that ICA has a complaint, which actually is not true. So I would request the legal team to action on that, such that it does not remain in our queue. Secondly, there are cases where we, for example, we are invited for hearing, and then we have meetings with the complainant, of course with IRA, but then I'm just wondering, do we have like a timeline within which IRA confirms closure of cases, especially if you have requested for documents and they have been shared? Because we have had cases where the response takes much longer than expected. And of course, this leaves the issue pending, and sometimes also the complainant is still not they will only be satisfied if they get confirmation that the issue has been closed. So I just want to confirm, how long, what's the turnaround time in terms of closure? Because we have had cases where we have to keep maintaining them on our monthly reports as pending, but the only action pending on IRA side is just a response confirming closure. Thank you.
On the first question about broker visibility on the system, brokers have been registered on the system, so if any complaint arises against you as a broker, you'll be able to see it. As for the part of brokers being brought in to view already running complaints, that is something that we shall look into, because it's not often that brokers are invited into these complaints. However, you can be invited to our meetings. So for the brokers, chances are you'll see yourselves being invited to quite a number of meetings. For the already existing complaints, I'll leave that to the director. On the wrong assignment to ICEA Life, please check again that issue was handled. Or also please confirm whether the complaint was against you, because it could actually be a genuine complaint. Then for the timeline to confirm closure, I leave that to the director. However, I leave the hint that we have a service charter that we have to adhere to, and much as we have this system, the service charter is still adhered to as well. So, and that is what this system is coming to solve. If you as an insurer feel IRA is taking your time, just drop it in the notifications. Whoever reads those notifications will know the fault remained with maybe the IRA, and or maybe you let us know, please, I am waiting for letter ABCDEFG. It will be there, and all the parties involved will be able to look at it and know who it is who is holding up the process. Okay, so for the other questions of already existing complaints, Francesca.
Before DL comes in, the transparency, this is from Amos Mabel, the transparency of the system is a great step towards stemming indecency in the market, especially when a client has been disturbed by an insurer. With proper advocacy and awareness, the insuring public stands to benefit a lot from the system. Well done, IRA.
Okay, I'll just respond to the two questions that have been asked. That is the existing complaints outside the system. So the next phase, what we're doing right now is, like I said, we have a complaints tracker that's tracking the ones that are outside the system. So the next phase that we're going to upload actually even those ones into the system, the ones that are not closed, but we'll also have a database where you can see the complaints that were resolved from 2017 up to right now where we are. So that is something that's going to be taken care of. But as of now, on the complaints tracker, we are already tracking the ones that are existing. The upload is going to take some time as well, but it's going to be done. But not to worry, we are still tracking your complaints. On the issue of, I think it was timelines for closure. Yes, so like she said, we have a customer service charter. And we also have the complaints guidelines that give timelines on when, first of all, responses are supposed to be received from you as insurers, but you take your time also. And that delays the process. But also on the client side, we also have timelines that are given to them in the complaints guidelines. So once again, what we've done right now is that we've put guidelines for ourselves internally to say a case will spend only 4 months in the complaints bureau. Now beyond 4 months, then there is an issue. But what we're trying to do is resolve those issues up to the end, in that you'll have your ruling after 4 months. That is the extreme. But what we're trying to do is we are doing 3 hearings for each complaint. After that complaint, we issue the ruling. And we expect that will take really between 2 to 4 months. We should have everything outside the complaints bureau. Now that's not to say that every complaint has to take 4 months or 2 months etc. We do resolve some of the complaints actually within a week. That is because we've managed to talk to the complainant and the insurer, and they've reached a point of agreement and they resolved those. And that is what we would like actually to encourage, for us not to go through the process, the hearing, etc. We want to encourage you to actually resolve as quickly as possible. But what we can say is 4 months, we should have a complaint out of the complaints bureau. That is maximum. Thank you. I hope that has answered the person who asked. But if not, my email is open door. Please send me an email. I'll respond. Let me invite Alhaj to add to that and then close this function.
Thank you very much. What we are doing here is just to introduce you to the system. However, we expect much interaction with the system to happen from now. We want to invite each one of you to get interested in the system, use it, and make sure that it does what you want to do. If you think IRA is unfair, by maybe adding the comment or something, bring it to our attention. We will maintain it if we think it is the right position, and we will drop it if we think you have made a point. So let us know as much as possible so that we can go ahead. And as Cynthia said, if you think we are not behaving within the agreement we have made with you, put it to us. We have a client service charter. That's an undertaking, that's an agreement we made, that when you bring something to us, we will respond within 2 days, within 1 week. When a complaint comes to us, these are number of months we should expect the maximum to take. So if you think we are not behaving within that time frame we have given, please let us know, and we will definitely, if we are wrong, we will apologize, and we will make sure that everything is put to order. I want to say that we want to move with everybody. We want to ensure that we improve where we were. So we would not want, this is not intended to victimize anybody or anybody to look bad. but it is intended to make sure that all of us improve. As I told you earlier on, when you pay the claims promptly, they will thank me. But I'm not paying any claim. When you do your business better and you make profits, they will thank IRA that you are doing a very good job. So please, when you do it, it is also good for you because you are also making profit for your shareholders. But at the end of it all also, it is providing employment to the many Ugandans who need to be employed. So we are putting up this system to ensure that things are done better. However, I want to also let you know that we pick this data and put it in our various reports we make. So if really people are complaining much about you, we'll just report the number of complaints which are there. And this is what I told you, please fight at all times to see that you resolve clients' issues before they leave your desk. We already told you to have complaints desks at your offices, at your companies. Please utilize them. People should not complain and go out annoyed or unhappy. Make sure that by the time someone moves out, he's happy. So I want to really thank you for coming. I want to thank you for the support you have given us. I want once again to thank Cynthia for spearheading this initiative. I want to thank the IT team, Chisra, Kalifan, and others who have helped. I want to thank the supervision, market development, the finances which are coming in, and indeed the consumers legal for making sure that at least we are where we are now. I want also to reassure Joseph that Cynthia is now your competitor, so or your partner, so you can utilize her services also. Thank you very much, and I want to declare this breakfast meeting closed. Thank you very much.